Kevin O'Connell just mentioned one key point that could elevate the Vikings offense to another level. Let's talk about it. The Minnesota Vikings offense is one that is going to be under the microscope this year. We know it's going to be a huge factor with J.J. McCarthy taking over as the starting quarterback, but it's mainly going to be the pieces around him that are going to have the most intrigue. How is Kevin O'Connell's offense going to change with McCarthy under center versus what he ran with Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins, and the myriad of backups who have had to play when Cousins was hurt? He's always had little wrinkles for each guy, and McCarthy is bound to have them, especially because he's a first-time starter. That presents different challenges than you would have with a guy like Darnold, albeit he was relatively a failure up to that point, and Kirk Cousins, who was an established veteran. One of the things you can do is maximize the running game, maximize the running backs you have behind you. And an interesting way to do that is 21 personnel, or as some would prefer to call it, pony personnel. Now, this quote from Kevin O'Connell really emphasizes that point. Quote, but how CJ Ham and his role in the two-back groupings, maybe we activate some two-back groupings where we've got Jordan, Mason, and Aaron Jones in the game at the same time. There's a lot of things schematically that we're going to try. And then as we get towards the season, what gives us advantages? What allows us to play the most multiple way that all circles back to the number one question of what makes the quarterback's job easier and more likely to be quarterback friendly to apply to our whole system? This is a really interesting idea. And I firmly believe that if you have the right players, 21 personnel is the most lethal because running backs out of the backfield that can run routes and take advantage of that while also being able to pass protect and run the ball is the easiest way possible in order to be able to manipulate defenses and take advantage of linebackers who aren't good in coverage. When you have two running backs in the game and one tight end, the defense is going to think run, run, run. Well, you can take advantage of that in stuff like Texas routes, which is also called an angle route, where you're angling out at a 45 to 60 degree angle toward the sideline, then boom, you cut it right back inside. And 21 personnel is not something that the Minnesota Vikings have used a lot. When we take a look at Sumer Sports' charting, over 1,054 snaps, they used it last season just 129 times, or 12.24%. Now, they didn't really have the confidence in their RB2 last year in both Cam Akers and Ty Chandler to be able to maximize some of this stuff. But Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones, they can do a lot of these things. Now, Jordan Mason isn't this lethal route runner, but he's more than capable to run your basic route tree. And Aaron Jones can do a little bit more of the advanced stuff. So if you want one guy blocking, one guy going out into the route, you can achieve that and give McCarthy some shallower options and some easy dink and dunks. I'm not advocating for a true dink and dunk system, but at the end of the day, if you make McCarthy's job easier on the outset, guess what? You can make things better on a long-term basis. I think that is going to be huge for McCarthy, and activating both Jones and Mason could be massive for this team in 2025. I'm Tyler Forness with ADZ Sports. Let's go Vikings.